This week on Lemon's Car Spotting.
Hey everyone, it's Nick and Eric. We're going to do some car spotting.
Yep, we're going to go right to it. And boy, there is some British crap. That's a great place to start.
Good Lord.
This comes to us from England and our friends at Motorpunk. That's Rich Duesberg, who has raced Lemons recently. Jaguar V12 and
TR6, yeah.
6, yeah. Well, I mean, it doesn't get much more English than that. Down to the fenders off of the possibly engineless rubber bumpered XJS. Man, look at that thing.
Look at it. It's amazing. Yeah, in watching a bit of wheeler dealers, I do feel like this level of condition in England is a little bit more accepted.
Right.
In the US, it's like, well, no, just buy a marginally better XJS for like $12 more. Yeah. But in England, they have some history of bringing cars like this back to life. And in the comments, one of the guys says, I'll have that TR6 all day. I mean, I'm sure that by this point, he's gone to pick it up because he said he was going to.
Right. Yeah, naturally.
Yeah. All right, moving on. It's a Colt. Another classic. God, talk about frequent flyers. We've been doing this for a while, and there are certain vehicles that show up a lot. K-Cars is one of them. Mitsubishi captive import Chryslers from the 70s and 80s is another. This falls into that category. It's got some auxiliary lighting and racing stripes / the rubber things holding the hood closed.
Yeah, you got to keep the bungee straps on there. Also, I mean, this thing's obviously hit something because the grill is all dented in and the headlights are wonky in the best possible way.
Yeah.
This looks like it has the reverse opening clamshell hood also, which was all the rage in the 80s.
It does now if it didn't before.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Kind of a neat shape, though. They almost got that part right.
Yeah. There's always a little bit of something to recommend these. One of the comments, or I guess, one of the comments is saying, oh, it's a turbo, which it was an option. And then somebody said, no, this is clearly a base model, a Plymouth Colt expert. So there you go.
Bam.
Next up.
Oh, man.
Staying in the same family.
I might have to move. I mean, stunningly of the same color combination and layout as the Colt. Boy, I don't know anything about these. This one's at the Peterson Museum also in the parking garage, which is great. Daihatsu Charade sold here for a hot minute along in the late 80s, I think. There was a 3-cylinder and a turbo one, and maybe the 3-cylinder was a turbo one. That's pretty much the extent of my Daihatsu Charade knowledge. We did have one in the early days of Lemons also.
Yeah, the one of the comments says that this is the 16-valve electronic fuel injection model. That would indicate that some were also 4-cylinders, unless you had a 3-cylinder with 16 valves. That'd be sweet. Yeah, I don't know how the math works. We also had there was a sedan that we got. And was there a 5-door? I don't think so. I think you can get a 4-door sedan or a 3-door hatch. But Charade, hell of a name for a car.
I mean, yeah. If you get the chance, look up the marketing on that and find the 80s like Trapper Keeper layout design ads. It's pretty great.
Oh boy. Next up. Oh, well, it's an Eagle. Is it an Eagle?
Ooh, good question.
So the story with the Eagle is that there was an AMC Eagle wagon. The Eagle was the model name. But then later in the great Chrysler Stellantis reshuffling that happens about every 2 weeks, they created a whole separate brand called Eagle. So the mark was Eagle. So that is what begat the Eagle Talon and the Eagle Medallion and so on and so forth. Some of them were Mitsubishi, some of them were Renaults, some of them were AMCs. Oh, the wonderful world of Stellantis. So technically, and whether or not they were officially called this, there was a crossover period between Eagle as a mark and Eagle as a model, and then thus this would be the Eagle. So I'm going to go ahead and say it was an Eagle.
It was 1988 was the Eagle year. So yeah, this one's in Panama, should point out. So I mean, one of them made it almost all the way to South America.
Right, exactly. All right, next up.
Oh man, this is a car I've been dying to see in Lemons. It's just all of the Malaise era trademarks are there. It has 18 feet of hood. It has a prow of a nose. It has the kind of weird, fakey Lincoln outside lights on the front fenders. It's got the trim. It's got the opera window. It's got half a top. It probably has a 460 or something in it. Ford Elite. I don't know what it shares a platform with. It almost doesn't matter. I'm sure there's like a Mercury Montego or Monarch or something. Just perfect. The kind of boat that should be in every Lemons race.
Yeah, definitely. There are a lot of those, Malaise era American cars in general. I feel like, God, maybe it was just their branding that was bad, but it's impossible to know, like, oh, Elite versus, like you say, Monarch, Montego, LTD. Like, it all just kind of blends together. You have to be a real scholar to know the difference. And arguably the same thing is happening now with GM's 40 different indistinguishable crossover SUVs. So, but in any case, yes, the greater Uncle Buck orbit of vehicles are prime for Lemons. Definitely bring one.
Yeah.
All right. Last car for the week. Oh, staying in somebody, possibly a neighbor, has an expressed opinion of this vehicle. Which is kind of too bad because, man, the original looking paint of this classic custom van is pretty cool, and it's been defaced with tow me graphics. And then what do we got behind it? Is that an RX-7 with a body kit? What are we looking at?
It's from the other photo. I remember when I pulled this gallery. It's a C3 Corvette with some kind of awful body kit and a door that's missing.
Yeah. Yeah. So then clearly this is just a 70s Chevy enthusiast, and he knows what he's got. No low ballers. And then they're all going to be fully restored someday if they don't get towed first.
Yeah. This is the classic car ad that you will see on Craigslist or the classifieds, where it is, custom van magazine cover car, March 1981, but doesn't have a picture of it. And there's no way to verify that whatsoever.
Exactly.
But the custom geometric layout on the side is pretty freaking sweet.
Yeah, it's amazing. Speaking of famous custom vans, the legendary blah, blah, blah that you can't confirm, for years, the Pick Your Part in Hayward, California, had an extended wheelbase custom van that was being used as the back wall of the lot. Like, they were like, why have a gate when we have a 76 tradesman? And it was called the Choo Mama. And on the side, it had a mural of itself racing a freight train. And it said Choo Mama. And oh boy, what a spectacular machine that was. And at some point, somewhere on the internet, I did find a picture of it when it was actually running and on the road, the Choo Mama. So if anybody remembers the Choo Mama, if you're a Bay Area person, post it in the comments.
You have me intrigued now with the mural including itself on on the side. Is it like a fractal where it's
where it just infinitely goes. I don't know if the Choo Choo Mama that was on the mural had a mural of the Choo Choo Mama on itself. It could have been one of those deals. Yeah. All right, I think I've got the hooptiest. If I don't, I'm taking it.
Yeah.
Boy, this was a hoopty week, I gotta say. Yeah. Like all of these cars. I mean, really, the one that was in the best condition was the Daihatsu Charade.
Right.
And so when the least hoopty car for a given set is a Daihatsu Charade, you know that you've got a hoopty bunch. I'm going all the way back to the beginning and just, oh, man. Abandoned, partially disassembled, likely rusty, for certain not running. It's got the hoopty qualities in spades. Both of them do. Combined together, it's just an incredibly hoopty pastiche.
Also known as a normal British car repair shop.
Yeah.
Exactly. I have the Lemons build this week, and as I pointed out when we saw it, every race needs to have some big boat like a Ford Elite, and this would be a first. Kind of has all the hallmarks of a great Lemons car. Plus, it'd be nice and comfy, and you can put any motor you want in it, including a Ford Triton V10, since we haven't had a V10 from Ford in Lemons ever. The square headlights on this thing, for some reason, just do it for me in the the rubber stamp that says Malaise era. You would put that right on this picture.
Yeah, definitely. And V10, it's a loophole. Judges will not think twice about putting you in Class C with 0 laps. All right, I think that'll do it for this week. Keep tagging your photos on Instagram with Lemons Car Spotting, and we'll find them and talk about them. There was some team that was threatening to build a boat with a Triton V10, and we have not seen them on track yet.
Yeah, where you at?